Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your Ice Dragon RayronVR, starting a new series with the Icey Dragon Branchline. So we're going to start off with a new layout here when it comes to the rolling line. Here I'm just kind of adjusting the room, showing you guys that you can make an infinitely big room if you want to. Just showing you just how big it is there with the black walls and how you can customize it and everything. Really cool. Now the video feed, I am double speeding it right now just because I'm trying a new format, trying to keep these videos under 10 minutes, so kind of experimenting to see if you guys like it. Let me know. So right here we are adjusting the table, trying to get it perfectly parallel with the wall. It can get kind of finicky doing it. I've been trying the F1 command to see if I can actually manage to do this, but the F1 command for some reason just wasn't cooperating with me, so I had to eyeball it as best I could. And you can see me kind of struggling here trying to get the endpoint. But yeah, this whole layout, the whole purpose of it is going to be an operations based layout. It's going to focus on operations, so I'm trying to build actual yards with arrival, departure, with storage lines, and it's going to be a point-to-point layout. The two ends are going to be having rail yards. Now, I'm not sure, I may have a transitional yard in the center of the layout, so we can kind of demonstrate how that works. But yeah, so now we got it snapping here with the tables, so we're starting to see the actual layout come about. So again, trying to get it somewhat parallel to the wall. It's not going to be perfect. That's one thing about rolling line that can kind of get finicky. Now you can see me here, I'm adjusting the movement speed because it was a little bit slow. I want to go a little bit faster when it comes to moving around, so you can just see me kind of adjusting my walking speed. One thing about rolling line is that it is originally built for VR, and right now I'm playing the PC compatibility version of it, so that's why I'm kind of just tweaking everything here, trying to see if I can get the render distance a little bit further so that way it's not disappearing, so that we can see the full layout. So I'm just adjusting the settings there as we continue to build this U-shaped layout here. So so just running around here building the rest of the layout. You can see the next end cap there, and I realized, oh, you know what, I need to see the entire layout as well. So again, setting it to infinite, boom, we can see the rest of the full layout there. So that's one thing to do, is make sure you have all your settings correct, so that way you can get it to your personal preference as well. So next thing is we got to build these drawers. Now my personal preference is I like to actually make these little drawers into slidable drawers. So you can see me kind of adjusting here, and then I'll set the option to use handle, so that way I can just pop out. And I'll eventually have more of these across the layout, so that way I have easy access to them. Alright, so now I'm just getting the initial main line, kind of visualizing where I want it. And the first thing I try to do is try to get center on a table, try to get perfectly parallel with the wall, with the tables. Again, it is kind of finicky. Again, one thing I wish rolling line would have was easy snap features to go from 90, 180, and 270. Again, I tried the F1 trick, and I was definitely doing something wrong because nothing was popping up on the interface there. So I struggle with it a little bit, try to get it where I want it to. I'm trying to eyeball it there to get it perfect, and then I select the table, realizing that I didn't apply my changes. So that's when I realized, you know what, let's go back, let's grab the tool called the edit tool, so that way I can apply those changes and then select the track only, so that way I don't accidentally select those tables again. Alright, so there we go. Picking up that track, trying to select it. And now we're going to go ahead and trying to visualize where that yard is going to go and how I want to kind of build it. So I know that my main line is going to go on a little edge there for that rail yard. So again, just building a template main line and then figuring out where my entrance to the yard is going to be. So now we're going to pick up some switch tracks and we begin to construct the yard. Now, what we're going to build here is our arrival and departure tracks, otherwise known as AD. And I'm going to have several AD along with some runaround for the service area here. So we got at least, the main line going in, and then we got these 81, 82, and then we're going to have a couple sightings and then a runaround. So that way our engines that are servicing the yard can easily run around and build those consists up. Alright, so then just kind of mirroring the opposite side here. You can see we got 2 81, 82, and then we're going to have those sightings. And then here I'm kind of having a branch off so that way we can actually get to our storage tracks for future capable operation sessions. Grabbing this, what we call gap track. Those of you who watch my live streams, I reference it as flex track, just because it's very similar in what it does. Alright, so here we're actually going to go ahead and build the storage tracks for the yard. Alright, just making sure everything is connected here. Now we're going to start putting in some of that flex track. And I realize the gap is too small here, so we got to edit that track away and then put that gap track in there. Again, building the entranceway a little bit more, and now going out to the main line, trying to connect with that track out there. And I realized that it wasn't really going to line up the way I really wanted to, so I'll end up deleting that track out there. Alright, now it's time to really build the rest of this here. Now I decide, you know what, this is going to be a transition era type of layout. And more particularly, most of my engines, I think I'm going to use Missouri Pacific. It's been a rail line that Fallen Flag that I really like to model, especially even in HO scale model railroading that you guys see on this channel. And so eventually we'll put a roundhouse out there. Right now I'm working on this particular track is what we're going to be called our drill track. So that way this will be the track that our engines can build the consists and service those particular 80 tracks down there. Now it's still debatable if those 80 tracks are long enough. I'm not going to have engines that are going to have consists that are going to be really long and complicated. I wanted this to be kind of a trial run to see, how's my building skills, how operation skills are going to be. So I want to keep it somewhat simple. But you can see here, there's our storage track there that when boxcars don't have a particular place to go, it's more off the main line there. All right, again, just trying to figure out what I want to do with these two end pieces. I decided on another runaround. So that way, again, our diesels can service it. Here's the roundhouse going in because, again, I like transitional era and do like steam engines. So we got to have a roundhouse. It's such a iconic piece of building when it comes to a rail yard. So, of course, we're going to have one. Alright, so now we're just trying to figure out, okay, how we're gonna connect it, what we're gonna do on that right hand side. Again, I thought I was gonna be able to use that switch track, but realized nope, it's not perfectly aligned to the gaps of it. So I ended up placing it just outside, gonna use that gap track and fill it up. And out here I decided, you know what, let's do a little bit of an industry back here too, so that way the yard master has some industry that they can service as well. Again, not exactly sure what I want to put out there, but it'll give the yard master some more switching opportunities. So here we're just seeing how we can align the track there to the roundhouse. Seeing how many outputs we can get. Now we start lining it up. Now the gap fill tool is a little bit limited on the distance, so had to bring it in a little bit, and then we can fill it there. Alright, and something else I was also thinking about is like I want to have my maintenance of way track, my caboose storage track as well. So that's what kind of that little offshoot is going to be. It's going to have a lot of our miscellaneous storage tracks for our rail yard. So again, we're putting tracks here for the industries as well. I don't know if it's going to be like a graining facility or maybe just factories. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet. But with that, that's going to conclude our Icey Dragon branch line. We are currently saving it here, and that's going to be end to episode 1. So if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, feel free to subscribe. Check us over on Dragonstar. But thank you guys so much. Brand new series, and I appreciate all you guys' love and attention. So with that, see you on the next video.